With me.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Thursdays with Tracy. I'm Tracy, and I'm joined by Theus. Hello, Theus. How are you doing?
I'm good. You're
Have you
coming in real blurry today.
I am.
Yeah, it's like it's not focusing.
Let's see. I hope that's better.
Now it is. Like it had to
Okay.
focus. Well, now it
Okay.
went back out. But howdy.
Well,
I'm good. Coming off of a good week off. I go back to work tomorrow for a day. And yeah, there you
well, I'm off tomorrow,
go. Awesome.
so I got a 1, 2, 3 day weekend coming. Yes.
Well, go to
And
work
I
tomorrow
can.
and put in my notice on Monday.
Okay. Okay. So it seemed like well, my connection is unstable. And I'm not gonna
Maybe
get up and
that's
unplug.
why.
Yep. So I'm not gonna get up and unplug my router because that would take 20 minutes to boot back up, and this show comes on at 7:30. Have so everyone again before I even get started, like this video, share this video, subscribe to the page, and of course support me on Patreon. We've got a huge announcement in May, and I am so trying to keep this a secret and keep it under wraps, and it's really hard. Not because I can't keep my mouth shut, it's because I want to tell you all now what I'm going to be doing. But I won't, I will not, I will continue um, to keep it under wraps until May. That's my goal.
See, it's
But if
March
it
now.
flips, yep, if it flips, I can't do anything about it.
Okay. All right. I see what you did there. All right. I'm with you.
Yeah, I'm trying to,
I give you
like I
till
said,
April.
I'm. I think if I go till April, I might as well say I'm pretty much. I can last the rest of the way. Pretty sure about it. Let's see. So we're gonna get started as soon as my computer decides that it's going to cooperate with me. Have you recovered from Tuesday?
Yeah. Yeah. And I've been watching a lot, well, not a lot, but a good amount of like commentary. But yeah, that happened.
Yeah, the commentary was like, well, he gave a speech. I'm like, y'all come. And the Republicans, did you see the Republican response?
The one from the crazy governor?
Yes.
Yeah, I didn't sit through it. Like I saw a couple minutes and I
What
tagged out.
was
I just
she
couldn't.
talking about? I'm like, girl, wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute. You what? It's like she was talking about stuff in the past. I'm like, that stuff happened back then.
But
She
the
named.
people she's talking to, they live back then. They don't want current events. They don't want facts. They want to feel. And
Well,
she's gonna feed them everything they need to feel angry.
she literally said nothing. I'm like, oh, okay, she's talking, but she not saying nothing. Is she gonna say something, or is she going to say something? Oh, looks like we got our first comment of the. Hey,
Hey Anna.
Anna. Now, trying to see if Marlon's coming in, but it doesn't look like it. So I am gonna just keep on going. But you know, I watch it because I said I was gonna watch the response. I'm like, why? Why did I do this? Why did I just sit here and why did I just go through this? I could have went to bed 20 minutes earlier than what I did. I'm like, I stayed up until 12:30 to watch this. Man, I could have been asleep by now. But
Yeah,
no,
you're a trooper. Because it's
my
like,
dedication to this channel made me stay up and watch something when I didn't have to.
yeah, because the speech was, what it was, and then the responses are always like pointless to me. They were always pointless. Even during Trump, the Democratic response was pointless. I mean, okay, we get it. You don't agree with whoever it is. I saw part of Rashida's, and hers was actually decent because she called out where Biden did well, but then she also criticized the Democratic Party at the exact same time. So
Yeah, and
I
they're
like
gonna
when
let her
people use balance.
exactly, and not just um, not just this crazy. I'm just gonna criticize everything you say because you're on the other side. So let me just say anything. Your hair is too blonde.
Yeah, the red
Stop.
team, blue team thing is so tiring, and I get into like conversations or internet conversations, and people really do not understand. Well, first of all, they don't understand me, which is fine, but they really do not understand like the black political voice. It's like we don't have the luxury of just being red team, blue team. We're pragmatic because we've been disappointed and abused so much. So
By both.
often, yeah, by both. So oftentimes when we're speaking, we will say what we like about the Democrats and criticize the Democrats at the exact same time while supporting the Democrats because this is a team we're stuck with. The other team is so horrible we can't even entertain them. Fine. But we're not going to sit here and just pretend everything you guys do is okay. You can't get out there and after we've dealt with countless killings by police actors, right? So I mean, you're being executed by the state you pay taxes to.
Yep.
Let that
Essentially.
sink in.
Yep.
So then when you get out there and say, no, we're not about defund the police, we're talking about fund the police. Dude, for real, check this out. You should have just left that all the way out the speech.
Yeah.
Just leave it
When I
all the
went
way out the
back to
speech.
watch, and FYI to all the people
Hey
watching
Nolly.
this, to all the one people watching this, and to the people who will see this in replay, we did a special broadcast where we basically just talked all of the State of the Union, and I didn't want to bring it up because I'm like, um, what is he talking? What did he say? What made him say? You know what? We're not going to unfund. We're not going to defund the police. We're going to fund them even more. What
Even though they
was
have
he
the
trying to?
largest portion of every budget in their state. So if we throw more money at something and it doesn't give better results, in most worlds, that's called failing.
That's what
So
like you keep giving. Let's look at this thing pragmatically. The police in most major cities, the rates of crime are increasing. Despite how much money we keep giving them, whether it's murder or petty drug arrest, whatever you make, whatever it is, crime is increasing in major cities. Why then say you're going to give them more money? They can't even reduce crime with the money that they're getting. Does that question make any sense? Or am I just sitting here just being stupid?
it doesn't make sense to us, but it does make sense to the people he's talking to.
There we go.
Who,
Because the
who was he
relationship that
talking to? Because he
he's
sure was
talking
talking to me.
to, he's talking to the patriots, the red, white, and blue, the tried and true white America, the hardworking middle class, all the different words they use to basically say white folk in America. Because the relationship is different. When the typical suburbanite, white suburbanite, or rural person think of the police, they actually are protectors. They actually are nice to them. They actually do let them out of a ticket or something like that. But they don't have to deal with the fear that my child will be killed driving to the grocery store, the fear that my child will be arrested in their fifth grade classroom. They don't live with that. So when he says, we're not going to defund the police, which means I'm not going to make you less safe. We're going to fund the police, which means I'm going to make you more safe. That's what he's saying. On our side, though, we only get a different experience. So
Yeah. Go ahead.
poor
I'm like,
people, black people, and Latino people, we heard something completely different.
I don't know if that's what he meant. And then, somebody pointed this out about the State of the Union address, which I didn't even notice. That he never said the word black or African American. He never made one reference. And I don't know if that's scary or is he just, did he forget about? I
He
mean, he
used
didn't make it.
code. He used code, just like we were just talking about with the police thing. That was code, right? Like I just broke the code on that. When he was talking about black people, he didn't want to say black people, so he used the George Floyd Act. Well, he didn't use George Floyd. He didn't even bring
He
that one up.
never said
He
the
brought
George
up
Floyd Act.
the John Lewis bill and the other bill, right? He mentioned those. That was his way of saying black. He talked about the pieces of the Build Back Better plan, but never said Build Back Better plan. So he was using code so that he didn't get beat up in the media the next day, which he's going to get anyway.
Yeah, now that's who I was watching. I watched Charles Blow's take, and he was. When you say he went off, he went all the way off. Marlon, you look a bit quiet over there. What's your thoughts?
I wasn't upset about it, and I don't even know why people was upset about it. I have no idea why everybody's upset that he didn't use the word black in his speech. Because even if he used black in his speech, we're going to get the exact same thing as if he did not use black in his speech, and that's nothing. So, okay, because if you, I just don't understand why people got upset.
I think people got upset. Like I just got done watching. I don't know if you guys watch it, but it's called Crooked Media with Pod Save America, whatever. And these are the guys who were speech writers and so forth for Obama, and they do a lot of political conversation. So I made the comment on there. I was like, look, whoever his speechwriter is, that team, that was malpractice. Because what you did was you took the most loyal block, which is the black community, and you reminded us, like we already know, but you reminded us that each of the things we asked you to deliver on, you didn't do. Instead of getting us accountability with the police, you're saying give them more money.
And like
Instead
I
of
said,
instead of helping with the student loan debt, you're going to put that off for later. Instead of doing anything about our voting rights, you're just telling us to vote more. Everything we asked you for, it's always just wait.
but look at Anna's point, and she made the point. So thank you, Anna. The Chicago Police Department gets 1.9 billion. Syrian Armed Forces get about 1.8, and the LAPD gets 1.7. You mean to tell me we got militaries um, that are the size of an entire war overseas? What? Nobody's asking the
Well,
question like, why are we giving y'all more money and crime
let,
keeps going up?
They had
those
a,
are
they, they had a
interesting.
they had a tank going down Main Street. Where do you think that came from?
Yeah, so I mean, those are interesting comparisons because they help draw your eye to it, which are great things. But cost of living in those places is also very low.
I know
but,
in my city, the budget for the police it's like almost 400 million. I'm like, we don't even got a million people.
it
What is
doesn't
y'all
matter.
doing?
Go to look at almost any city, and the largest portion of the budget goes to law enforcement. They're like 20, 30, and 40%, depending upon where you're looking, of their local budget. And you're talking about give them more. To do what? Get
That's what
more
I want to know.
toys?
Where did
Just
you
get more
give?
toys? That's what we're gonna do?
He's talking about giving them more money. I'm like, what are they gonna do? They can't even manage the money that they have now. You're gonna give more?
But
Like,
to the people he's talking to, so that's where, like me and Marlon have hit on this multiple times, folks. You got to think about who he's talking to. If he's not talking to you, then of course the message doesn't make sense to you because he's not talking to you. Okay, so if you look at it, just backing it out, pull our personal feelings from it. If Black people are roughly 15% of the population. Black males are about 5% of the population. So if the police went around and killed all the black men, if you spin the story right, that's still a rounding error. Get what I'm saying here?
I just
So,
couldn't. I'm like, what?
so
I'm like,
they're looking at it as broken eggs. Every time we're looking at it as, oh my goodness, I can't even let my children be out safely, right? I can't let them out of my eyesight. And even if they're in my eyesight, I don't even know what I can even do. That's not their reality. Their reality is overall, the police do a good job.
and here's the other thing that I couldn't get, and I know we talked about this last night, Tuesday, that he led off with the situation in Ukraine and not the actual state of the union. I still find that strange. I'm like, well, you have to talk about Ukraine because it's going on, it's there. But the state of the union is called the state of the union. I did not understand why go to Ukraine first and then jump to Iran and then finally to America.
It's the hot topic right now. It's the
Got to give the
shiny
people
new
what they want.
toy. By the way, for anybody that's wondering why I'm not saying much, I'm trying to test talk less on your show to see if I could actually do it. Doing a pretty good job. It's the brand new toy. It's the top subject. So you're gonna always start off with the top subject. So what's the brand new subject? Because it isn't COVID anymore. Because that's go down. Unfortunately, we ain't talking about black people getting killed in the streets anymore. That's not the brand new toy anymore. So what's the new toy? We're talking about Russia invading the Ukraine. That's the new toy. You you start off with
I removed myself accidentally.
you start off you start off every game with your strongest batter. Right now at this point in time, that's your strongest batter.
But you notice when he got to the domestic things, he didn't. He said a bunch of nothing. I'm like, okay, I I get what you're talking about doing in Ukraine, got it. But when he moved to let's open up, he said something about buy America, and I'm like, yeah, that'd be real nice if companies were moving their jobs overseas on purpose. I mean, I would love to buy American.
Well, I have to qualify it a little bit because if you're just looking at the details of the speech, aside from what I pointed out about, because my niche issue is black issues, so that was just disgusting to me that he even put that in the speech. Shouldn't even have been there. I would have rather you ignored us than what you did. But overall, what is the State of the Union for? All it's supposed to do is give a heat check, roll out what my aspirations are, and give you reasons why you should still look at my party. And from that perspective, he did a great job. The problem is you still have Congress. And here we are, 48 hours after the speech? And the news is already centered on Joe Manchin because everyone knows he runs the Congress. So we're right back
To where we were,
where we were.
that's the other part. I was like, you could have see now Tracy, me, I'd have got right up there, but like, you see them two idiots over there, Mansion and Cinema, they the ones holding it back. Trust me, that's what I would have done. But of course, I'm not the president of the United States. I'll never be president of the United States because I'm not gonna play pity pat nicey nice with people. I don't
Yeah,
have
you would
time
have just
for it.
burned down your whole party
I
for,
don't
for
care.
nothing.
Burn. Because you letting these two idiots just do whatever they want, you deserve to be called out publicly. You
No,
deserve
he
it.
does that. He does. He calls them out. The problem is there's no accountability. Like he's not even employing the tools that I think he should. Like you should be turning up the heat, not just every once in a while saying, we got two senators who just won't get on board and help us out. Yeah, say that. I'm glad you say that, blah, 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 blah. But are we funding primary opponents?
No,
Are
that's the
we
problem.
are we talking about adding more states to the union? Are we taking messaging specifically using West Virginia and Arizona data points for poverty and wage stagnation and living conditions? See, that's how you fight the people on your own team, to let them know that, hey, we're not playing with you. But the Democrats don't know how to do that effectively because
I'm
they
gonna
don't have
disagree.
enough fighters on their team.
I'm gonna disagree with you. They don't want to fight because
Well,
if
if they
you
haven't
wanted to
shown you a
fight,
fight, there's okay, I guess. All right.
yeah, if they wanted to fight, trust me. Like you said, you had Rashida Tlaib who gave her response. I don't know why she gave a response to it. Also, because she's a Democrat, but okay, I'll just let that
There's
flinch.
always both.
Yeah, so I'm like, she had enough sense to say, hey, this is what Biden did. Well, this is what he did. She didn't hold back. So why should Biden? I'm like, nah.
Completely
To
different
me,
math.
to me, it's the same.
I,
And
I,
maybe
I
I'm
took
just,
I took two things away from the speech. Well, three things. One, I didn't want to watch him anyway. I knew he wasn't gonna say nothing. They never say nothing. They literally use an hour of let me try to get my poll numbers up. And by the way, watch his poll numbers go up. That speech of funding the police, COVID is going down, the economy is still doing good and doing better. The job market is doing better. His numbers is going to go up. So that's one. I didn't want to watch it anyway. The man wasn't going to say anything, and I was proven right. He didn't say anything. Two, I just treat it like it was a fashion show, and I still can't get that glowing gold Jimmy popcorn dress that woman was making, that was wearing at the place. So that's two.
She got
And
that custom fitted, bro. Come on now.
yeah, nobody, you can't find
shoot,
that in the store.
That ain't off the
You
rack. She
not
got it
gonna
in her
find
I
that
house.
hope I hope
anywhere, at any time, at any place.
But three, and the most important thing that both of y'all are missing from that whole event, the whole event, that Anna can be in two places at the same doggone time. And how y'all missed that, I don't know.
Our
I don't know.
resident
I don't.
celebrity.
Y'all talk. Diaz, you talk about black situations, and I understand. I get it. Tracy, you talk about the Democrats fight for each other. I get it. Completely and utterly understand it. Anna could be in two places at the same time. Do y'all understand that? Do you understand the ramifications of this? That all this time we had the Scarlet Witch watching us this whole time?
Sometimes I worry about you, Marlon.
I
Sorry.
really do. I really do. I'm like, can we sit?
Sorry. I'm just amazed that y'all missed that. That y'all that's not the top discussion
Well,
right now.
okay. Last thing on the State of the Union. I didn't ask this in the Patreon chat, but on a, and I'll let you go first, Marlon. On a scale of A being he did so awesome and F it was a total fail. Great his speech.
See, I, by the time it was a C, it was exactly what I thought it was going to be. I
Okay,
didn't even pay that close attention to the point where I didn't even know that Bobert and Green yelled out something
Yeah.
during the speech.
Bobert yelled out 13 to try to shame Biden about soldier deaths as he's talking about
about
his
his son
son
who died
who
as a
died
soldier.
following being a soldier in the overseas.
And she gives no feedback. No, nobody talks about suspending her or anything.
That's because her boss is McCarthy. So
And
they
he
got
was
one
playing
mission.
Candy Crush. I'm like,
Yeah.
dude, stop getting on your cell phone.
Yeah. Republicans have one mission, and that is we need to win the House and the Senate. That's it. That's it. Democrats should have the exact same mission and have a mission of deepening where we are, like having more in each of those positions. But we just can't help ourselves. We want to attack our own team. So it's just what we do.
Okay, but give it a grade.
If I gave it a grade, and I'm coming at it from the standpoint of what I expected out of a State of the Union speech, then I give it a B.
You went way high. I'm gonna talk about what Anna says first because I'm gonna get to my grade. She said, actually, I was fighting a local primary opponent. I love all the faces when I say I will not support you unless you support reparations. You do that, Anna. So I actually interviewed Jason Call. I still can't get a hold of Rebecca
That's
Parson.
awesome, Anna.
Yeah, but
Thank you very much.
my grade is a D minus. Joe Biden is one of the worst orators. Like, dude, shut up. He was boring. I had more fun listening to you guys talk over him than actually pay. And I went back to watch his speech without us. Trust me. I'm like, dude, if you don't shut up repeating yourself, I'm going D. I'm going a straight D plus. He would have been C minus if he had talked more about how like gas price. Well, I guess gas prices aren't the president's fault. That goes up no matter what. It goes up, down, whatever. But I would have liked to see more talk about domestic issues than what was. So my grade is a D. But it's really close. He was almost there, and I was like, dude, no.
But the fashion show was an A.
Oh, the fashions were A plus. Those big old flowers.
Oh, that was
sad.
That was the funniest part.
That
made the whole thing.
I mean, AOC did show up and do right.
But he's talking about Marlon's talking about the Jiffy Pop dress.
I'm so sad that Miss Warren did that with
that flower. What was with everybody? And then Swalwell having on that scarf. I'm like, what is with y'all?
Because they promised their grandbabies that they will wear their flower that they made in arts and crafts on TV. They kept their promise. Never said it was good.
Now, one thing I would like to explore, if you have just a hot second, but you were saying about how Biden was boring and repetitive, and I'm like, repetitive actually plays a part when you're trying to do messaging.
No, but not when your tone is like this. And then
the other part, though, is he's the president. He's a politician. Why has it become such a thing where we actually want our presidents to be entertaining? Ever since George W. Bush,
not entertaining. I'll tell you why I said. Look, all the presidents in my lifetime. If I'm just talking about authoritative skills, Obama's first.
Okay.
And I'm just not an Obama fan. But he knows, even though he's repetitive, he knows how to take the same statement and shift it 5 different ways.
He has soul. But what I'm saying, though, is...
Well, wait a minute.
Is he the bar that you're setting it by? Because...
No, I'm just ranking the
smart kid in the class.
No, I'm ranking them in terms of who I think are good or right. As funny as I think he is... Oh, boy. I don't like this person either, but Ronald Reagan wasn't terrible. Because he was an actor. So he played on those skills as being an actor. He could use his movie making background to kind of deliver a speech in the way it should be delivered. Trump was terrible, so Trump is like the bottom of the bottom of the bottom of the bottom. Then you got Carter, who I don't remember because I was like 6. And then you got
the Bush boys. We got the Bush
George
boys.
W. If it wasn't George W. said a lot of things that I had to go back and watch because I would think I knew what he meant, but he really didn't mean what I was thinking he was saying. So I totally misunderstood what he was saying. If that
he was
makes
a more adorable version of Trump. But what I would say is, if we're just talking about oratory skills and the power of using the office from that standpoint,
Yeah,
then
just this.
you got to give Reagan to me. You got to give Reagan the top spot because the dude literally has built an entire religious faction behind himself with the Republican Party for the last 40 years. Is it 40? Yeah, 40 years. Then, unfortunately, I'd have to put Trump right behind him because Trump has built an
What?
entire. Hear what I'm saying? Because we're talking about skills. So Trump has built an entire religious faction that is willing to go to war for him because of how he delivers his messaging. The man can't string together a full
He
sentence on
can't
complete
even. I was
talk to
gonna
save his
say.
life, but his messaging is is impeccable. Behind him, I would say Obama because Obama is intelligent. He's also shrewd and crafty, and he knows how to manipulate feelings and do all those things. But he never built a movement like that. And probably I'll put W behind him and Clinton right behind that.
I
And,
forgot about Clinton.
but the point I was trying to get to though is that's not. I mean, it's a part of the job. But when I think of a president, I am not looking for you to be someone that I can't wait to tune in and hear what you got to say.
See, I'm
I
different.
want you to be good at doing your job. I want
Of
an
course.
ultimate politician that can get out there and twist arms and do things and all that stuff. And you're probably going to be very boring to me because you're going to be very cerebral and very tactical. But people want the guy that they can have a beer with. And it seems like that's been the case since George W. Bush.
I don't want
That's
to have a
not
beer with
working
none
for
of
us.
them. I don't
Well,
want
you
to have
don't
beer with
drink,
none of them.
but
But when the president speaks to me, which is why I've never missed the State of the Union. I even watched Trump's, because
you have respect for the office.
I respect the office. So when the president speaks, I'm listening, but I want you to be like, don't put me to sleep. Oh my gosh, it was so hard for me to stay woke. I'm like, okay. And then you guys would say something funny, and I'm like, okay, I'm back up.
Yeah, I would be fine if he taught like a college professor up there and put everybody to sleep. I don't care. I want to know, are you doing the job and what are you going to do to make Congress help you do the job? And since you are not conveying that, that's where I have a problem. But because I know what Congress's role is, I have to just look at his speech as a State of the Union speech and how he managed to deliver the Ukraine portion and the domestic portion, not make any gaffes other than the one that I've pointed out. That's a B speech. Now, his performance in office, it's a little different, but I'm not going to
Yeah,
go into that because we still need more Democrats in office at this moment.
okay, well, let's just say this. We're moving on to our next. Somebody decided they were going to call me. I don't know why. No, I do this show at 7:30. So I wanted to talk about one last thing before we call this. Go. Let me catch up to my comments. Thank you, Anna, because I've literally emailed her like several times and I never get a response. Oh, Anna agrees with you, CS.
Thank you.
Um, if
There's,
we
there's there's a long one right above our email, Rebecca.
Oh, a good question. Okay. Oh, you want see now, Anna? We're gonna talk about that. I'm gonna talk about that in my progressive queens context because you there's three
Oh, I can
factors.
answer that real easy.
Yeah, there's a long, but if you can keep it under 2 minutes. No, I'm joking. Go ahead.
I'll do it in probably about 30 seconds. The reason why you go after the Democratic Party and not the Green Party is because if you try to go after the Green Party, no one would be listening to you.
Yeah, that's true. That pretty much does.
Insurgencies make noise and get attention.
I.e., the
So,
Tea Party that
yep.
just went away and turned into Trump lovers. Um, Yeah, and be in tune on next Thursday when I load up the Progressive Queens ones because I got a whole lot of stuff about the movement of the People's Party, the Green Party, the Democrat. It's gonna be a long talk, but I want to get to the next issue, and I definitely want to hear you guys' thoughts about this. There were reports all over the media about how Black Ukrainians or Africans that are in Ukraine have been barred from loading trains that will take them out of the country. And I found it really particularly upsetting, although I shouldn't have, um, that some of the reporters just seemed to blatantly come out and say, we care about the Ukrainians because they have blonde hair and they're white like us. Um, Marlon, I'm gonna let you go first. Should should I be? Why am I so surprised? And I know I shouldn't be, but why am I so surprised?
Because of the three of us, you're the one that still hold out hope. I told you I was going to say less.
Wow, Marlon, keep it. Wow.
You are. You're the one who holds out. You are the embodiment of they see us now.
Oh
That
no, I don't think I go that far.
you're still shocked that this stuff is happening. Yeah, you are. You're still shocked. I'm shocked it didn't get out sooner. I'm shocked it took this long for the information to get to it. I'm not shocked that it happened because you can call them Ukraine and you can call them Russian and you can call them Poland and you can call them all these things. At the bottom, at the purest, at the bottom line to all of them, what are they? White. Which what we're describing is the nationality. But so is African. And you're going to be treated there as an African the way we as African Americans get
No,
treated over here.
that's the part that I was surprised about. I was surprised about some of these reporters just straight out saying, "Oh yeah, we care because they're white." You saying that out loud, and there's like no
Again,
outrage, no.
so or you cannot say it out loud and still be treated the same way. It I don't know when this happened, and I'll make this brief. I don't know when it happened that all the tyranny, all the bad things that happened to black people, now we got to hear it said. As if
Yep.
that means anything. What did I start off doing my show saying? You're going to do it anyway. So whether you say it or don't say it, the event is going to happen anyway. I don't care if you say it. I don't care if you don't say it. I care what your actions are. The actions are not surprising.
Yeah, people are desperate, especially our people, because that's where I spend my energy. But this does cross many lines. But people are desperate for whatever they're seeing for it not to be true. Like instead of allowing the preponderance of evidence to lead you to a conclusion, instead of doing that, you're constantly looking for the exception to show that there's hope that the conclusion will be different.
Yeah.
So when I'm looking at what happened with the Africans in Ukraine, the hashtag that was out there, um, of course, like of course, that's would that not happen here? It would be a little harder here, depending upon the zip code that the evacuation is happening in,
Yeah.
because in America we, whatever. But you're literally looking at, if you close your eyes and someone says the word Ukrainian, you are not thinking of a black person. Not
No.
ain't no way in the world that you do that. So them getting in the way of black people, which is also another thing, just kind of look at the language. Poland, Ukrainian, African. Africa is a whole darn continent.
Continent. Yeah, that's true.
The students came from Chad and South Africa are the two that I've heard. There's probably a couple more. But you don't get to have national identity when you're African. You African. Right?
Yeah.
You are a whole nother category because it's just too tiring to figure out which country you come from. But Ukraine, Belarus,
Belarus, I think.
Russia, Poland, they're right there clustered together, but somehow we can keep their names separate. So it's like, why are people getting excited? And then also, I listened today to Lavrov. I think that's the right hand man for Putin, and he was doing his big meeting thing. And notice, Marlon, I think we called it. Got to pay attention to who's bringing you this information. Multiple times he pointed out how Ukraine was treating African students trying to get out of the country. Wait for it. We're invading. So we're just being used as propaganda anyway.
So I'm like, that's what I'm saying. It gets on my nerves. I'm like, stop. I am not a prop. My people are not a prop. I don't know how to put a stop to that, but it's getting on my nerve. No, it's gotten on my nerves.
You stop buying into their language.
Yeah, stop being shocked. Being mad and upset and irritated and frustrated. I get it. I want that. But what they did, hey, Susan, what they did was disgusting. I get it. But shocking? Oh.
I'd have been more surprised if we didn't hear something about racial differences. Because I'll be honest with you, before that new controversy popped up, I didn't even think about there being black people in Ukraine. Like it wasn't even a thought.
Aunt Anna, I did not hear that.
I heard that there was a speech, but I didn't watch it.
I'm gonna have to watch that later. Susan, you are almost. We're at the last topic, Susan. Well, you're in a whole different country, so.
Yeah, I think it's 2:00.
It's 2:00, so you riddle for staying up. Or is it 3?
3:00.
Yeah, I was gonna say, is it 3:00 in the morning there? So it's actually Friday there. Marlon, tell us where we can find you.
You can find me. When is this coming out?
This is live. This is actually live.
Okay. You can find me this. Well,
yes.
You can find me Sunday at our new time, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Radical Truth to Power. Now, I could do a Saturday show if Anna can duplicate me. So we're working on that, but as of right now, it's just Sunday at 8 p.m. Radical Truth to Power, Eastern Standard Time.
Thea's, where can everybody find you at?
Oh, ComplexSimpleMan.com. That's where you can find me.
And again, everyone, please support Thea's and Marlon's Patreons. They both have new Patreons. They need your support. It's rough out in here in these podcast streets. Everybody who's a Patreon, before I give my closings, I will remind you that at 8:30, we're going to have a discussion, and the discussion topic is, which is Eddie Murphy's best movie? That should be an interesting discussion. I got my 4, and I'm pretty sure Marlon's going to change one of them, but that's okay. So remember, everyone, to watch my videos at Tracy Media LLC. Even this one, you'll see it there. Subscribe to the channel. And if you're not a Patreon, become a Patreon, and I appreciate it. You can find the link on my website. And remember, I got that huge announcement coming in May. I'm hoping I can just keep it shut down until then. But like I said, I'm still working on it. And I'll see you all in 2 weeks for this show. So we won't see each other next week. We'll see each other the week after.
Hey, thing is, what are the chances Dr. Doolittle is on that list?
I don't know,
There's
but it
no
should be.
chance. Yep.
Really? Oh, God.
Well,
Not on
maybe
the
not
list.
top 4, but I really like that movie.
But we're gonna save that for
Now,
the
Daddy
patrons.
Daycare.
We're not talking worst movies. We're talking
Daddy.
best movies. So
Hey,
everybody,
Daddy Daycare was a good movie. I'm just saying it's not.
we're
this
gonna
top.
take you down for saying that. But we're gonna see you all next week. Everybody have a fantastic week. We'll see you in 2 weeks and have a great evening.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Night.
Bye bye.